the first to know. Nsem-Pii TV.
Godfred Dame and my friend the starboy in the legal fraternity as a result of record-breaking 24-year-old project Astole from various successive governments and then on my commission, that is the Law House, a 10-story 2-tier block building for Office of the Attorney General and supporting legal staff. Now, members of Parliament, Chief Justice, His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Wait here, because time Oya Attorney General in 2001 and no shares that project as said all the way. And a successive government by NDC for by almost our Law House idea and cut on priorities because in the relevance of buildings such as these. And the MPP say democracy in the country, it has to be built on a strong legal system. Now legal system for say lawyers, ne Attorney General office, yes say ebimu ya juma ewo container buildings mu ni de kaka. It was an eyesore. Godfred Dame say Okukache, His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo say Saudi a top priority. Yeah, the Chief Justice statement, beba. Yeah, the Godfred Dame statement. So yeah, the dad of His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo as also during the commission of the ultra-modern world-class law house by the now Attorney General, His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and also the Chief Justice Gertrude Tokono. Yenko tie almost statements on the children during their commissioning.
All of the justice delivery chain. We are still left with providing fitting locations for the several needs of professionals in the justice delivery chain, and I am hoping that sooner than later we will be having another beautiful edifice close by to house the Council for Law Reporting, to house Legal Aid Commission, the Law Reform Commission, the Legal Service Board, and all of the agencies that feed into providing justice to this dear nation of ours. I'm informed that this location is going to be able to house all state attorneys and supporting officials of the Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice in the building. This means that we need to replicate this around the country. And I can assure you, I also did not see the remarks of the Solicitor General. Great minds, they say, think alike. So clearly, Mr. President, as much as we are all very grateful to you and your government and for supporting this project, we are clamoring for more around the country. The learned Attorney General has shown extensive resourcefulness in leading the construction and delivery of this facility. And ladies and gentlemen, I believe he must be commended. Indeed, Attorney General, I stand on behalf of the entire legal community to express our appreciation for your resilience. Your Excellency, I also stand on behalf of the entire legal community to express our thanks to you and your government for championing the delivery of this facility for justice delivery. May God bless our homeland Ghana and continue to make us great and strong. Thank you.
One more time, let's appreciate the Chief Justice of our Republic. We thank you, Your Ladyship, Justice Gertrude Tokono. We all seem to know this story quite too well from the works, including the preparation of drawings, preparation of contract documents, and obtaining of relevant permits and statutory approvals. But actually, work commenced in 2001 in the tenure of His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, then as Attorney General and Minister of Justice. It will travel through 8 other Attorneys General amidst twists and turns. Please, a round of applause for all these gallant men. And so from a 36% completion point for the entire works in 2021, the building is now fully completed with total furnishings to be completed in 2 weeks, a testament of bold, dedicated leadership that gets things done. And now, Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the starboy, my brother, the Attorney General of the Republic of Ghana, the Honorable Godfred Dame.
Thank you very much. And this is the only occasion on which I get to speak before the Chief Justice. Madam Chief Justice, I'm grateful for your kind indulgence. Mr. President, now Danko Ekufado, Her Ladyship the Chief Justice, Mrs. Gertrude Araba Iseba Saki Tokonu, Justice of the Supreme Court of Ghana, here in present, Justice of the Superior Court of Judicature, eminent clergy, Honorable Ministers of State, Honorable Deputy Ministers of State, former Attorney General, Honorable Joe Gatti, Deputy Attorney General and Deputy Minister for Justice, Mr. Alfred Tuyayeboa, Deputy Attorney General and Deputy Minister for Justice, Ms. Diana Sunaba Dapa, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Your Excellencies, the President of the Ghana Bar Association, our eminent traditional rulers, the Solicitor General, the Director of Public Prosecutions, former Solicitor General, and also an eminent traditional ruler of Asokori traditional area, and that Dr. Susubribi Kobe Asante, Executive Directors and Heads of Agencies under the Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Chief Executive Officers of state-owned institutions and other privately owned entities, and may I acknowledge the presence of my supportive and beautiful wife, Joycelyn Dame. Ladies and gentlemen, friends from the media, with great joy in my heart, I welcome you to this event. Knowing the special place the Law House occupies in the hearts of state attorneys around the country, it's an honor to be the Attorney General who has driven this project to completion. And it's a day the Lord has made, and we rejoice in it. When I was appointed the Attorney General in 2021, I requested the relevant heads of agencies under the ministry and all regional heads of the various for a presentation of what I termed urgent and most pressing needs, so as to obtain a primary and comprehensive insight into the matters of utmost concern to the Office of Attorney General and Minister of Justice, its regional offices, and various agencies under the ministry. Top on the list of the presentation made by the various departments and regional offices was the debilitating office accommodation challenge. The dreadful infrastructural and logistical hardships facing the ministry were legendary, as even at the head office, some of the lawyers were operating from what is described in Ghanaian parlance as containers, a situation I consider very deplorable. I deemed it unacceptable for attorneys who assist important institutions of state navigate the myriad of legal challenges they are confronted with, and some of whom are actually Ivy League scholars, to be using containers at their offices. Other problems principally related to grossly insufficient budget for the operations of the ministry, lack of vehicles to facilitate the duties of state attorneys in justice delivery, and severe technological challenges. Working visits by me to the office of various agencies under the Ministry of Justice to ascertain at first hand the fiscal conditions under which they operate confirmed the reports I received. These visits were revealing as the hugely undesirable working environment of some agencies and the lack of basic tools for service to the nation came to the fore. Mr. President, by virtue of the duties conferred on me with my appointment, I pledge my unalloyed commitment to the resolution of all problems militating against the work of the Office of Attorney General and Minister of Justice. A resolution of the office accommodation challenge of the head office of the Minister of Justice, in my view, lay in the completion of the Law House. The shell of the block works had been sitting there for decades with same abandoned for a number of years. I immediately got Michelle's Architectural Engineering Services Limited to undertake a structural analysis in order to satisfy myself about the safety of a continuation of the construction. After all, it was supposed to be occupied by lawyers, and I could not comprehend the gravity of lawsuits that I would be confronted with in negligence and other torts in the unfortunate event of any accident occurring. AESL reported to me they were fully confident about the results of the structural integrity. In all of this, the utmost cooperation of the President and Minister for Finance were phenomenal. Sir, I sat down with you, and I was the beneficiary of your kindness and goodwill. In the face of many competing demands on the public purse, your unique recognition of the importance of legal sector to national development and the need to satisfy the critical needs of the sector were simply remarkable. I perceive the President's commitment to this project as divine. Indeed, he was responsible for the inception of the project as Attorney General, and he was the man to commission it as President of the Republic. And I'll say that hardly have the stars aligned to make a story so impressive. Following a special appeal I made to Cabinet in June 2021, the Minister for Finance at the time, Mr. Ken Oforiatta, assured me of regular release of funds to support the construction of the Law House, and he honored his word. My zeal to execute the project, however, suffered its own hiccups. In assessing the volume of work to be done, I realized to my chagrin that the agreement had expired since 2008. Works had been going on without any form of approval since then. The legality of a continuation of works was not in doubt, and I took account of my peculiar circumstances as one prosecuting various violations of procurement regulations and financial malpractices. I did not want to be, as a Ghanaian would say, caught in the same soup as those I was prosecuting. A considerable amount of time was thus spent on obtaining relevant statutory approvals for the project, particularly from the Public Procurement Authority, for an engagement of the same company which had been working on the project since about the year 2001, Elego Project Limited, to continue with the outstanding works on the project. The Minister of Finance graciously granted a commencement warrant for the completion of the outstanding works on 3rd February 2022. Rather strangely, after the grant of the commencement warrant to the Minister of Finance, the Elego Project started expressing an inability to continue with the works as a result of some conditions in the commencement warrant. I was going to say bench warrant. The commencement warrant given by Minister of Finance. The company terminated the contract. The Minister of Justice accepted the termination, of course, without any risk of judgment debt. We were compelled to take the rather painful decision to apply to the PPA to cancel the approval given in favor of that company, identify a new contractor for the project, and for PPA to approve the appointment of the new contractor, Mustech Engineering Services Limited. It is necessary to state that after scaling the initial challenges, the Ministry of Finance consistently honored all requests for payment of work done by the contractor. It is thus a source of deep satisfaction that I see Mr. Ken Oforiatta come this morning to share in the joy of this occasion with us. His successor, Honorable Amin Adam, has continued the tradition of close collaboration with my office. Indeed, he has assured me that he's going to give a warrant for the recruitment of about 70 or 100 attorneys. It's right there. Recounting the support to the Ministry of Finance as a worthy partner for the Office of Attorney General and Ministry of Justice, I recall the release of the entire sum required by the Office of the Attorney General for a satisfaction of its agents' needs in 2021. Out of this, the Ministry made a giant acquisition of 91 vehicles comprising saloon cars, pickup vehicles, and Toyota buses to assist in the performance of duties by state attorneys. The acquisition of 91 vehicles for the Office of Attorney General represents the biggest fleet ever acquired by the Ministry of Justice at any point in time. Distinguished guests, may I also place on record the support of the former Chief Director of the Office of Attorney General, Mr. Suleiman Ahmed, and the current Chief Director, Suebatu Adam. The two have been phenomenal in the examination of contracts and processes for payment of certificates presented by the contractor. And I should also say that the support of my wife and family has also been immeasurable. Many weekends, especially after church on Sunday, I drive them straight to to the site to inspect the state of completion. Not even the complaints of hunger from the little ones could deter me. And I was intrigued when my daughter asked me yesterday in response to a statement I made that I was going to commission the law house today. Is it done so soon? I felt a sense of satisfaction. Mr. President, I dream of a modern public legal service for our nation, fully equipped to live up to its onerous constitutional and statutory duties of rendering competent legal advice to the Republic of Ghana and representing the state in the complexities of modern-day local and international transactions. The Law House represents a giant step towards realizing that dream. Consisting of 12 stories, 10 stories above ground, and a 2-tier basement for car park, is a model for efficiency of the use of public land. It will house the 3 divisions of the Office of Attorney General, i.e. the Civil Division, Prosecutions Division, and the Legislative Drafting Division. In addition to a good number of offices for state attorneys, it boasts of a vast conference room which the Ghana Bar Association can use for occasionally, of course for a fee. A canteen, 2 libraries.
Member of Parliament for Karaga, the Minister for Communications and Digitalization, and Member of Parliament for Ablekuma West, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, a Member of Parliament for Damango, Minister for Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development, a Member of Parliament for Techiman South, Deputy Attorneys General, Solicitor General, Director of Public Prosecutions, Head of the Civil Service, Deputy Chief of Staff of the Office of the President, and officials of the Presidency, Justices of the Supreme Court, and other Justices of the Superior Court of Judicature, Judges, members of the Judicial Council, members of the General Legal Council, the President and members of the Bar Council of the Ghana Bar Association, members of the Ghana Bar Association, the representative of the Gamanche and other distinguished traditional rulers, the Dean and members of the Diplomatic Corps, fellow Ghanaians, ladies and gentlemen. Today is indeed a day of great pride and accomplishment as we stand before this magnificent 12-story edifice, the Law House. This moment marks the culmination of a long journey that began over 2 decades ago, when I served as Attorney General in the government of the second President of the Fourth Republic, His Excellency John Agyekum Kufuor. It was then that the vision for this building was conceived, and now we see that vision transformed into a tangible reality under my presidency. The completion of the Law House stands as a testament to the MPP government's commitment to addressing the age-old office accommodation problem that has plagued the Attorney General's office and the Ministry of Justice for far too long. This state-of-the-art facility will now house the Office of the Attorney General and the Ministry of Justice, providing a conducive environment for the efficient administration of the law in our country. I must at the outset pay glowing tribute to the work undertaken by the Attorney General, Godfred Dame, in bringing us to this day. When he assumed office as Attorney General in 2021, after 4 years as Deputy Attorney General, the completion status of the Law House project was, as we have been told, at 36%. His personal commitment, together with my support, were instrumental in reviving and bringing the project to completion. His efforts ensured that this initiative which will easily ended up as another